Just south from the German city of Bamberg is the small village of Kaifeck, a farming community. Quiet and peaceful, nothing strange happens here. Just beyond the main village, however, deep within the woods, was a home. And a time ago was a murder. Haunting stories captivate us all, especially the old ones. Like wine, they seem to get better with age. But, even in the vast sea of ghostly tales, some stand out from the others. The Gruber family was not what one might call normal. Antisocial, the family mostly kept to themselves, and behind closed doors, unsettling occurrences took place. Andreas Gruber was rumored to be an abusive husband, and a father who had intimate relations with his daughter, Victoria. He seemed to be obsessed with Victoria, and denied her the right to marry after her first husband had reportedly died in the First World War. Even more disturbing, it was believed that Victoria's child, Joseph, was actually the product of incest, and Andreas was not only the boy's grandfather, but his father as well. So it was to nobody's surprise when Maria, the Gruber's family maid, quit during the September of 1931. Only, she didn't leave because of their lifestyle. No. She claimed that something much stranger was happening in that home. Maria heard a voice-like noise throughout the house, as though something was trying to communicate with her, and she heard footsteps coming from the attic. Strangely, however, when Andreas investigated the noise, he found no one. 6 months passed, and still no culprit was found. And yet day by day, life on the farm became much stranger. First, Andreas found an unfamiliar newspaper on his property, and leading between the forest and his farm, footprints in the cold, bleak snow, where they should not have been. Finally, the keys to the residence had gone missing. Perhaps something or someone was living among the Grubers the entire time. But that doesn't explain why they needed the residence keys. They were already inside the home. Unless, of course, they didn't want anyone to get out. Friday, March 31st, 1922. The people of Kaifeck noticed that the Gruber family had not been seen for days, and young Cecilia had not shown for school. They reported the situation to police, and upon investigating the farm, horror struck. Inside the barn, 4 bodies lay lifeless, savagely murdered. And inside the home, 2 more. The new maid only hired hours before the act, and 2-year-old Joseph. All the victims had been killed by a mattock, a single blow to the skull killing each instantly, aside from 7-year-old Cecilia, who had died slowly over the course of a few hours. Also important to note is that Victoria had been strangled previous to her death, a sign of passion, indicating that the killer knew her intimately. While conducting the investigation into the murders, things took a sickly turn. It was discovered that the killer had resided in the home for an entire week after committing this heinous act. This was known because the neighbors reported smoke coming from the chimney, and evidence has shown that the farm's livestock had been fed, and an individual had fed her or himself. Police at first believed that this was simply an act of robbery gone wrong. However, this theory was quickly disregarded due to the fact that a large sum of money was found in the home, and no valuables had been stolen. Police then went on to investigate if Victoria's late husband had actually survived the war. The fact that the murders, especially that of Victoria, seemed to have a personal emotion behind them, supported this. However, multiple fellow soldiers who had fought alongside him attest that they had witnessed him die in battle. Police were puzzled. Year after year, people were questioned, but no ground was made on the case. In 2007, it had been decided that too much time had passed for modern techniques to solve this crime. And so, the Hinterkaifeck case was closed. The unknown creates fear, and history itself is a mystery. So it's only natural that tales of old are a favorite for those seeking horror. Such is the case for the Hinterkaifeck murders, a story whose intricate detail has been lost through time. And whether or not one day we know the truth, one thing is for sure. This is a tale of horror. Thank you again for clicking into another episode. We look forward to seeing you again on Twisted Mysteries. Unless, of course, you are the mystery.